For those of you guys who don't know, Archive Library is going to be releasing tomorrow. It's going to be releasing at 4 p.m. BST for me. You guys are going to have to check what time it releases for you guys. However, I only have one issue of this release. And I made a forum about it, as you can see, my opinion and perspectives for the release. I ranted in VC as well about this, and it's about the Trello and Wiki. Now here, I'm not gonna, say everything I said in this text, but it's basically me saying that the Trello has literally every piece of information, which makes it so that players are basically prompted to use the Trello while playing the game or progressing, which makes stuff like immediately boring. Because when every piece of information is in the game, in the Trello, you kind of have no element of surprise. For example, if you're doing a dungeon, you'd already know what to do from the Trello. Not because of your experience, from the Trello. Does that make sense? No, not really. Like, I'd want my first experience to be natural, not knowing what's there. You get what I mean? But the Trello, hey, do this, do that, this and didn't. You get what I mean? I'm gonna show you guys the Trello just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone has access to this Trello. It's not even just testers. Everyone has access to this shit, right? So you start off here with the basic information. Yeah, basic information. What everyone needs to know, by the way. How to wipe your pages, how to change or join the office, which is cool, by the way. Keep that in. Then you have the starting information, basic controls, combat knowledge, everything in this little bracket right here, this little column right here, is fine, except Shin and Mang. An ultra skill. Well, in my opinion, an ultra skill. Why does this need to be here? No, I generally just don't know. I don't know why Shin and Mang needs to be there. I've asked people, they're like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like some people would want to gatekeep Shin and Mang. No matter how hard the requirements are, I feel like getting to know the requirements would have to be a part of the challenge as well. You go what I mean? It's kind of like with this is a bad reference, bro. It's kind of like Setro and Type So, how he keeps like, making people have to search for the requirements, which is cool, bro. It's making people go around the map and checking out different NPCs, interacting with NPCs different ways, or doing bosses in a different way, or even just doing stuff in a different way, right? Which is, again, prompting you to actually play the game more and stuff like that. But here, it just gives you it, bro. It says you can attain Mang by using a fixer's note. What's the fixer's note? Press right here. This is a fixer's note. How to get it? You deal damage to an overconfident fixer. Who's the overconfident fixer? Oh, you get what I mean, bro? It just keeps like going down to the minute detail, bro. And it's like, bro, I basically like that's free. It doesn't matter because with the overconfident fixer, he spawns like every 20 minutes in the alleyway, and he has like I'm not gonna lie, it's like a 0.1% chance. I think it's a 0.1% chance at least. I don't know if it's actually like that in the values, in the game values, but he's very hard to find. But just because he's very hard to find doesn't mean that, hey, have the information, bro. Like, people should be hunting for that shit, bro. That's just me personally, though. There's a whole bunch of other stuff here which kind of don't really make sense to have in a Trello. Again, I'd feel like when going into library, actually no, library is kind of necessary. I'm not gonna lie, bro, because it's a PD area. It's a PD area. You could actually wipe. So I'd want to know what I'm going into before I go into a PD area. But with refraction railway, all these dungeons, I feel like people need to actually experience that thing first. Because let's say I go into this area right here, I know what I'm dealing with now. I might be dealing with nothing there. I just might be dealing with him. I already know that. I haven't even touched the game. I'm talking from a perspective of someone who's about to touch the game in about 12 hours. I haven't touched the game, but I already know what's gonna happen when I go into this area. I'd want it to be a first experience. I'm just saying that. You know what I mean? And then having singularities there, I'd want that information to be gatekept. I don't know. Again, it's just not all making sense to me. That's just me personally, right? The skills, I guess they could be there, but how to get singularity? Come on, dude. You know what I mean? Let people fish out that for themselves, bro. And there's literally a whole bunch of things, bro. So I would go through the whole Trello, but you guys kind of get my point. I'd also go through the wiki, but the wiki is shutting down. I'm pretty sure it's coming back up. But if we actually turn our attention to the Trello updates channel in archive, which I don't think I should be showing, but I'm gonna show it anyways. I'm sorry, Darlu. It's literally saying, hey, we're gonna close the Trello. The Trello will be closed for the time being. Why? We want to see how players navigate with the lack of wiki/Trello to potentially help improve the game and make it more enjoyable without the need for one, which is amazing, right? How long would it last? There's no exact date, blah blah blah. We scroll down, guys. I found a free access method. Anyways, boom. Dar doesn't want the Trello and wiki to be closed. Okay, Darlu. I mean, his game. Not gonna argue, but I've already said my opinions, and yeah, really and truthfully, bro. I feel like a solution to this, I don't feel like my words are ever going to be heard, but I'm just saying I feel like a solution to this would be for you to literally just keep the information to only essential and basic information on the Trello/wiki, because I know the wiki's coming back up too. Stuff like the basic mechanics, like light, the controls, star guides, this and that, how to grade up, stuff like that. You guys already have that in the Trello, but just limit it to the starter stuff, right? There's no need to, oh, how do you get this ultra skill at literally first day of release? You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter if progression itself is crazy, right? Because I've played the game literally, I've literally played it today, right? On a new slot. The progression is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys are gonna be grinding the game out, bro. And the grade up exams, bro. Hey, that's something else. But off topic, getting back into it again, bro. Another point is that to hide specific requirements, it would add for secrets. You know what I mean? Add for mystery. You know, hiding all of this stuff would add for tension when they're trying to look for it. How do I get singularity? Okay, let's try refraction train. I'm not getting it from here. Let's try library. Oh shit, I got a singularity from library. You get what I mean? And then they log that down. They could get their own information panel, this and that, community made unofficial Trello, stuff like that. Get that going on, like that community interaction. That's what, you know, I'm kind of talking about. You know what I mean? It promotes player to player help, people asking questions, people making theories, and content creators making tutorial/videos on how to get these certain stuff. You know what I mean? It makes it so that the community are kind of interacting, intertwined with each other, right? Because let's say I wanted to know how to get a certain ultra skill. Let's just say Shin and Mang was removed from the Trello. I'd go and ask someone, how do I get Shin and Mang? If they gatekeep, they gatekeep. But if I eventually find out the requirements, I find the requirements. You know what I mean? If it's on YouTube, it's on YouTube. You know what I mean? But just giving it to their face on a silver platter, that's kind of, I don't know, man. I think it would be boring for me. It reminds me of them Rogue Lineage copies. That's just me though. Another thing is though, again, like, I feel like without the Trello, if I was to get something, I'd feel way more accomplished. If I was to go into library and I got a singularity, I'd feel way more accomplished. Or if I was to find a requirement to something which was being gatekept and nobody knew of, I'd feel way accomplished. You know what I mean? And obviously, access people and testing people have already had the requirements in their head for a long time, because again, the testing has been up for 2 years. But hey, bro, there's a lot of people getting back into the game. You know what I mean? A lot of people who are going to be new to the game. Bro, some information is going to be left behind. And hey, that element of surprise, bro, is going to be crazy, bro. At least just for me. I wish I was starting out the game new with no Trello, bro. Or at least a sufficient Trello with just a basic information and stuff like that. Just saying, bro. Right now, it just reminds me of a Rogue Lineage copy. And that's basically all I have to say, bro. That's the one issue I have with Archive right now. Other than that, the game is good. I hope you guys enjoy the game when it's released. Make sure to check out my channel. I'm going to be streaming it. I'd say 2 hours before the release. You know, we're going to be doing some library runs, L Corp. I think I got permission to do L Corp. And other stuff like that too. I promise you, I'm not going to be playing Type-So on the stream. I'm not. I promise you. But other than that, Hope you guys liked the video. Comment down below if you have your own opinion on the Trello. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the release.